Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 9 p.m. English News Edition. Here are the top stories. Extension of Aska College, stone laying at preschool and inauguration of Danan and Gubeto School. And for the international news, UK and Egypt discuss Gaza crisis and regional stability issues. Welcome to our newsroom. As part of the government's policy to improve access to education, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training inaugurated 6 new classrooms that have been added to the old school, significantly increasing the institution's capacity. This initiative addresses strong demand and aims to provide an adequate learning environment for a growing number of students in the region. The minister laid the foundation stone for the construction of a school fully dedicated to preschool education, comprising 10 classrooms. This project, which aims to strengthen access to quality education from an early age, is part of the government's effort to achieve the sustainable development goals related to education. The new preschool will provide a modern and suitable environment for the learning and development of young children. Continuing his tour of the Asajog region, dedicated to inauguration of new education establishment, the minister and his delegation headed to the locality of Danan, where he officially inaugurated an integrated rural school. Since 2016, the Ali Sabih region has seen the construction and equipping of 19 additional educational institutions, representing a 70% increase. Most of these establishments have been built in remote areas in line with the goal of democratizing access to education and bringing educational services closer to vulnerable populations. The number of students has increased from 11,783 in 2016 to more than 16,200 in 2025, marking a 38% rise. The pass rate for the baccalaureate reached 65% in 2025. Finally, the minister and his accompanying delegation concluded their extensive tour in the Ali Sabih region in Gubeto, where the minister, Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, inaugurated a new high school, a long-awaited project by the local population. During the inauguration of the new high school in Gubeto village, representatives of the population expressed their heartfelt thanks to the Minister of Education for his constant effort in completing the education structure in the locality. At each stage of this tour, the minister reiterated the government's commitment to ensuring inclusive and equitable education for all children. He emphasized that these new infrastructures are part of the national plan to reduce regional disparities and improve access to education. On the sidelines of the inauguration, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training met with locals and customary authorities of the region. During this exchange, the minister highlighted the efforts made by the government to improve access to education in the region, particularly through the construction of modern infrastructure and the strengthening of educational programs. In his address, the minister emphasized that the efforts to enhance educational infrastructures in Ali Sabih are far from complete. In the near future, the city will see the construction of a second modern school, which will significantly ease the growing pressure on the current education facilities. This new establishment is expected to accommodate more students, ensuring that the region's education needs are met. It will also play a crucial role in ensuring that every child in the area has access to a high quality education, contributing to the government's broader commitment to improve educational standards and fostering opportunities for all young learners. And now, as part of the Post-Digital Literacy Project, the National Union of Djiboutian Women, the UNFD, in partnership with the United Nations for Development Program, organized a certificate awarding ceremony to honor the learners who had completed their training. The event brought together several high-ranking personalities, including the Ministry of Women and Family, Mrs. Muna Osman Adan, the UNDP representative, Mrs. Emma, the Secretary General of the UNFD, Mrs. Fatuma Musa, and the Deputy Mayor of Djibouti. This training aimed at women from the 5 regions of the country, so to enhance their digital skills to fully integrate them into an increasingly connected society. Through this program, the UNFD continues its commitment to the empowerment of women, providing them with concrete tools to improve their living conditions. In her speech, Mrs. Muna Osman Aden congratulated the learners for their efforts and highlighted the importance of digital inclusion in the country's socio-economic development. She also expressed her gratitude to the partners, particularly the UNDP, for their continued support of local initiative for women. The ceremony concluded with the presentation of certificates to the learners, a moment filled with pride and emotion. These women, now equipped with digital skills, are becoming key actors of change and inspiring role models for their communities. Mrs. Emma, the UNDP representative, reminded us that these projects aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals, particularly those aiming to reduce inequalities and promote equitable access to education and technology. And for her part, the Secretary General of the UNFD, Mrs. Fatuma Musa Abdi, emphasized that the National Union of Djiboutian Women is working tirelessly to support women of the country. The Secretary General of the UNFD, she also reminded that thanks to the unwavering support for the First Lady, the institution continues to actively support local initiatives for the empowerment of women. The Deputy Mayor of Djibouti, Mrs. Fatuma, praised the courage and determination of the learners who managed to overcome the challenges to complete their training. She stressed the importance of the skills acquired, which will allow these women to contribute significantly to local and national development, encouraging the learners to put their knowledge into practice and inspire other women. She concluded by stating that Djibouti needs dynamic and committed women to continue its progress toward development. And for her part, the Minister of Women and Family, Mrs. Muna Osman Adan, reiterated the importance of women's empowerment for the country's development. She stated that post-digital literacy training is an essential tool for strengthening women's skills and fully integrating them into the digital society. She also expressed her gratitude to the partners, especially the UNDP and the UNFD, for their constant commitment to promoting initiatives in favor of women. And now the Regional Human Rights Promotion Week, organized by the National Human Rights Commission of Djibouti, continues its journey through the region of the interior of the country. After that, Tadjoura and Obok, the delegation led by the president of the CNDH, Mr. Ali Soubaneh, stopped in Dikhil, where they were warmly welcomed by the deputy prefect of the region and the president of the regional council, Mr. Mahad Hussein. The main objective is to raise awareness among local population about human rights while addressing challenges related to migration and responding to the needs of host communities. During his speech, Mr. Ali Soubaneh explained that this tour aims to strengthen citizens' understanding and ownership of human rights, emphasizing the importance of inclusive dialogue to ensure the respect of these rights. The deputy prefect and the president of the regional council reiterated their full support for the mission of the CNDC. The activities in Dikhil were marked by essential visits, including to the Red Crescent, the Gendarmerie Brigade, and the Center for People with Disabilities. This meeting led to interactive and constructive discussion between the delegation and the participants. These exchanges highlighted the fundamental role that each individual can play in the promotion and defense of human rights. The campaign, which lasts for a week, will continue in other regions, demonstrating the CNDH ongoing commitment to bringing these universal values closer to citizens throughout the country. And now in the Asajog region, a delegation led by the ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to India, His Excellency Mr. Isa Abdullah Asso, visited the site of the Ali Sabih cement factory on Wednesday, January 22nd, 2024. The mission aimed to explore opportunities for revitalizing the cement plant and optimizing its capacity through Indian investments. This initiative is part of Djibouti's ongoing effort to strengthen its economic cooperation with strategic partners such as India. This visit follows a series of fruitful discussions between the delegation and Djiboutian government officials, including the Ministry of Economy and Finance and the President of the Ports and Free Zones Authority. This meeting helped identify partnership investment opportunities aligned with the country's economic and regional development goals. The delegation also visited several strategic sites, reinforcing Djibouti's vision for harmonious and sustainable development. This initiative reflects the country's commitment to attracting foreign investments and providing a favorable environment for economic growth while strengthening its relations with India, a key player in the region. Moreover, this initiative underscores Djibouti's central role as a strategic economic hub in East Africa by highlighting its attractiveness in industrial and infrastructural sector. Djibouti is positioning itself as a promising market for international investors. And now sports. Under the aegis of the State Secretary for Sports of the Djiboutian Swimming Federation launched a one-month aquatic skills training program for about 30 officer cadets from the Military Academy of Arta. This initiative aims to equip these future military leaders with essential swimming and diving skills, which are crucial assets for their upcoming mission. The launch ceremony took place at the National Swimming Pool, where the officer cadets were warmly welcomed by lifeguards from the Federation, all experienced professionals and specialists in swimming and diving techniques. This aquatic training is part of a series of initiatives aimed at enhancing the operational capacity of the Djiboutian Armed Forces by incorporating aquatic skills into their curriculum. Military authorities are emphasizing a holistic approach to officer training in line with the contemporary demands of military operations. The collaboration between the sports sector and the military community reflects a shared commitment to preparing young leaders to face tomorrow's challenges while strengthening their bonds between the civilian population and the armed forces. The Djiboutian Swimming Federation plays a crucial role in this process by bringing its expertise to ensure that the officers are ready to excel in all aspects of their future careers. Let me take you to Ethiopia on Thursday, January 2023. Early in the morning, the Djiboutian attached to their intangible cultural heritage mobilized to participate in the closing ceremony of the festivities in honor of Her Isa. Her, or Jurisprudence of Somali Isa community, was inscribed in 2024 on the representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. To immortalize the moment, Djibouti Radio and Television mobilized a team of journalists and technicians for media coverage. The convoy's journey began from Djibouti City. About 30 vehicles carrying more than 300 people, including artists, local elected officials, and Djiboutians from all walks of life, set off toward the city of Diridawa. It was a journey of over 200 kilometers where unity, cohesion, and solidarity among the Djiboutians were driven by a single purpose: to take part in the honor bestowed upon the Somali Isa community. Throughout the trip, the traditional music and dance, notably the Wilwilo, were carefully performed by young people from the localities along the way before the final arrival. From the Wanle to Aisha'a, joy was expressed through shouts, songs, and car horns. The journey was smooth, marked by the moral values that the Her Isa community is known for: mutual solidarity and social cohesion. This fascinating journey come to an end with the convoy's arrival at its destination. There in Las Dereh, on the outskirts of the city of Diridawa, local authorities, including the Deputy Mayor of Diridawa, Harbi Buh, his staff, Mrs. Ayan Ali Musa, Federal Deputy of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, welcomed the travelers. The Djiboutian Consul General then took over to ensure the safe arrival of the many Djiboutians who had come to participate. The Consul General of Diridawa, Mr. Musa Haji Jama, accompanied his compatriot to ensure that the hundreds of Djiboutians were settled in good condition before the main event, which will take place on Saturday, the 25th at the Diridawa City Stadium. Indeed, the city of Diridawa is preparing to host a grand ceremony on the 25th and 26th to close their celebration in grand style. After the sub-prefect of Randa, the caravan of solidarity for the Tadjoura region headed towards the sub-prefect of Dora, especially Dora village, the penultimate stop of this tour. In Dora, the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Mrs. Suluf Ismail Abdo, accompanied by a large delegation, received a very warm welcome. This is not the first visit of the minister to the sub-prefecture of Dora for this region. The meeting with the community took place under good conditions. The meeting saw the participation of the authorities from the Tadjoura region, MPs, local elected officials, and a large number of people from all the localities that make up the sub-prefecture of Dora. The parliamentarian from the Tadjoura region, Omar Adan, and the deputy from Halloh welcomed the ministerial delegation and encouraged the residents of Dora to submit their grievances and concerns to the minister and the authorities of the Tadjoura region. And now MPs from the Tadjoura region took the opportunity to warmly welcome the minister and her delegation during this visit. Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Mrs. Suluf Ismail Abdo, has been on the ground since January 11th, leading the Solidarity Caravan 2025. This caravan is part of a broader initiative to strengthen solidarity and support for communities across the region. One by one, both men and women voiced their needs and concerns. Some highlighted the difficulties they faced in their respective localities. Unanimously, the resident praised the social policies led by the government under the leadership of President Ismail Omar Guelleh, the initiator of the creation of the Ministry of Social Affairs and Solidarity. The goal of this ministry is to support programs aimed at combating poverty and precariousness by assisting the most vulnerable population across the entire national territory. In her response, Minister Ulufa Ismail Abdo expressed her gratitude to the community for their warm reception and active participation. She acknowledged the challenges faced by the people in the region and assured them that their concerns will be carefully considered by the government. The Minister Ulufa emphasized the government's continuous commitment to improving the living condition of all citizens, particularly the most vulnerable. She reiterated that the creation of the Ministry of Solidarity under the leadership of the President of the Republic of Djibouti, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, reflects the government's dedication to social justice and poverty reduction across the country. She also highlighted that ongoing efforts such as the emergency social protection programs aim to provide immediate relief to those in need while laying the foundation of sustainable development. Minister Ulufa reassured the resident that the government will continue to prioritize initiatives that promote social inclusions, equal opportunities, and access to essential services for all Djiboutians. Minister Ulufa's speech resonated with the audience, who were encouraged by the government's support for their well-being and livelihoods. At the end of this meeting, an elder from the Dora community led a prayer session and invocation to bless the initiative and call for divine mercy. This moment was marked by a collective spirit of hope and unity as the community expressed its gratitude for the government's ongoing support. The elders' prayer not only sought blessings for the success of the current project, but also asked for guidance and protection for the people of Dora and Djibouti as a whole. This act of prayer and invocation symbolized the community's deep connection to its spiritual roots, reinforcing the cultural values and solidarity and mutual values of solidarity and mutual support that underpin the social initiative being discussed. It was a powerful reminder of the importance of both practical action and spiritual strength in overcoming challenges and building a better future together.
وأمهاتنا وإخواننا وأخواتنا وأولادنا وأقربائنا وأحبائنا وأصدقائنا أستاذنا ومشايخنا ولمن له حق علينا ولجميع المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات يا قاضي الحاجات ويا مجيب الدعوات استجب دعانا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين آمين آمين حمدك اللهم صل.
As part of the emergency social protection project in response to food crisis, Mrs. Ulufa Ismail Abdul also inaugurated the plaque for the rehabilitation of the existing reservoir and the water distribution network in Dora. The ceremony took place in the presence of regional authorities, the second Vice President of the National Assembly, MPs, and officials from the Djiboutian Agency for Social Development. As part of in this speech, the project manager provided an overview of the objectives and progress of the project, emphasizing its importance in improving the living condition of the people in Dora and surrounding areas. The project manager, which focuses on enhancing social protection and addressing critical issues such as access to water and food security, aims to provide sustainable solutions for the local communities. And now for the international news, British Foreign Secretary David Lammy met Egyptian counterpart Badr Abdulati in Cairo to discuss regional security, focusing on the Sudan crisis and the Gaza ceasefire. Lammy emphasized Egypt's role in stabilizing the region following the ceasefire mediated by Egypt. We discussed regional security, the search of lasting peace in the Sudan crisis, Lammy said. The second session of the Egypt-UK Association Council reaffirmed both countries' commitment to regional stability and stretching trade and investment relations. The Gaza ceasefire, which began on January 19, halted the Israel offensive that claimed over 47,000 Palestinian lives, mostly women and children, since October 7, 2023. The agreements aim for a prisoner exchange, sustained calm, and a permanent truce. Gaza remains devastated with widespread displacement, starvation, and disease. This is it for this 9 p.m. English News edition. Thank you for watching us and stay tuned for more on RTD.